Hello, guys. Welcome back. I am Miss Cindy Renteria. We are moving on to our third week of our virtual visits. We're happy to have you back, and hopefully, you enjoyed all the previous activities that we've given you and all the information that we've been giving you. This time around, our activity is going to be counting, but like you guys know already, we start off with our greeting, welcome back, and then we start off with our song that we want to practice with our little ones. Hopefully by now, since it's our third week, you guys already have our song together. It's okay if you're not. Miss Cindy's still trying to, go with the flow with the song, but here we are. Miss Cindy, I'm going to go ahead and sing it. And then as you remember, we're going to pause and you're going to try to add your child's name so he can start practicing on singing it at home with him. Miss Cindy is here today. Miss Cindy is here today. Clap, clap, clap. Miss Cindy's here today. You see how I added my name? So you can go ahead and add your child's name, your name, and your brothers and sisters' names. And have hopefully by now he already knows the concept of the songs. But like I said, I'm still trying to get good to it. So now we're going to move on and we're going to read our book. Since we remember the theme of the month is still the theme is all about me. We're still focusing on legs, eyes, mouth. So the book that we have here is called 10 Tiny Toes. Let me get a little bit closer so you guys can see it. So here we have the cover of the book, and we have the spine of the book, and then we have the back of the book. So every time you read the book to your baby mom and daddy, just trying to let them know the cover, the spine, and the back, so they can start getting familiarized with it. And once they go to school, they'll be able to know the concepts of the book. So here we have 10 Tiny Toes. Remember, mommy, I'm reading this book right now. You can always read any book that you may have at home. And if you are in need and don't have any books right now, you can always ask your home visitor. We're more than happy to send books with you. Remember, you come and pick up the materials once a month. We can always add a book to it. Just feel free to ask us. You can say, Miss Cindy, and can you please let me borrow a book or two? And we were more glad to send it home with you. And of course, take the precautions to clean it. And then we can always exchange books throughout. So here we go. 10 Tiny Toes. Mouth, eyes, and nose. So we have mouth, eyes, and nose. Remember, we want to make reading fun for our little ones. And then here we have touch your ears, make them wiggle. So you touch the ear, make them wiggle, wiggle. And then we have touch your belly and laugh and giggle. So you can when you see this one right here, you can ask your little one, can I see your belly? Where's your belly? And of course, the little giggles to make them laugh. Here we have touch your mouth open wide. So you open your mouth wide. So you tell him, open your mouth. Touch your arms, wave side to side. So we pick up our arms and we wave them side to side. Remember, mommies, our little ones usually mimic what we do. So throughout the story, you can act it out so they can follow what you're doing. So of course, you wave your hands side to side. Mouth, ears, eyes, and nose. So we have mouth, ears, eyes, and nose. Remember, always point it out when you're reading the book. And if you want to point it out to you, you can point it out to your little ones. Eyes, mouth, nose, and ears. Arms, belly, legs, and 10 tiny toes. That's a cute little teddy bear. Touch your toes, bend down low. So you see him bending down. So you're going to try to touch your toes, mommy. You can bend down, bend down, bend down. Touch your toes. Touch your little one's toes while you're at it. Touch your legs up and you go. So you're touching your legs. Touch your nose and sneeze. Achoo! You see the little one is sneezing. Touch your eyes and peekaboo. And a love that grows and grows. This is my favorite part of the book. You get to hug your little one. Tight, 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 and tell him how much you love him. This will be the end of this book, mommy. Remember, we want to make reading a fun time. You want to make reading such fun time that you want them to bring books to you, them to tell you, oh, mommy, let's read, and at times it does Remember, your little one is about 24 to 36 months right now. So you may have one book, and if you want, you can always change the wording of the book. You don't have to read it specifically what the book says. And here, since we have a big face, you can always ask him, can you touch his eyes? Can you show me where his nose? Can you touch his hair? Where's your hair? Remember, always try to ask them open-end questions. Like here that I said, where's your hair? Let them touch their own hair. And you can go ahead, where's his cheeks? Where are your cheeks? Can you show me your ears? How many ears you have? One, two. Especially right now, since the activity that we're gonna be doing is called counting numbers, counting and learning numbers and understanding small quantities. So everything that you're trying to do throughout the activity, you want to put it hand in hand. It normally goes all together. As you can see here, we have a really nice toy. If we were going to your home, we'll be taking this over so we can play it together. And we have here, what does it say? 1 through 10. We have 3 books. And right now I'll explain a little bit more why we have actually 3 books. We have 3 crayons. They don't have to be the same color. We have 3 blocks. And here where it is in our activity that you have in your packet when you picked up, we have learning numbers and understanding small quantities. What we want you to do is go around your home and find quantities of 3. Right now, all we're focusing is for your little one to know 1, 2, and 3. If he knows 1, 2, and 3, you can move on to 4 and 5. If he knows 1 through 5, you can move on to 10. And if he already knows 10, what we want to move on to for you to be able to tell him, can you give me 2 crayons? Can you give me 3 crayons? Can you give me 1 crayon? As mom and dad, you'll be able to know what steps to go to. But right now, we're focusing on 1, 2, and 3. That's why I have 3 books, 1, 2, and 3. We have the 3 crayons, the 3 blocks. Remember, when you're counting, kids learn by touching. So we have here, we want you to do this, 1, 2, and 3, and have him follow with you. And when he counts, have him touch it, touch every time he's gonna count something. So next thing you can do with your child throughout the activity, remember, it could be 3 things. Example, it could be 3 pairs of socks. They don't have to match. It could be 3 spoons, 3 little small plates, 3 little pots, 3 baby dolls, 3 cars. We just want items that are a set of 3s so we can complete this activity with them. And you always want to point and count 1, 2, and 3. And you ask him, can you give me 1? He gives you 1. Can you give me 2? And if he gives you all 3 of them, we start again. So we put them back down and we're like 1, 2, and 3. Throughout the week, you can continue to practice. Remember, our little ones at this age, their timing span to sit to do an activity is not so great. And it's okay if you're doing an activity 10 minutes, even 15 minutes. If he walks away, it's okay. You can always do it throughout the day. Like, let's say, for example, if you live in, if you have stairs when you come out of your home, what you can do is count the stairs as you walk down. 1, 2, 3. Or count the steps as if you go to bedtime. Just count how many steps it is to get to your bed. Or when you're sitting in the dining table, you can tell him, look, how many chairs do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. How many brothers and sisters? Or even throughout the day, just make it fun for them when they're bathing. You can tell them, oh, we're going to wash all your little fingers. We're going to wash all your tiny toes. Just make it fun. And if they see that you're enthusiasm, if they see that you're having fun and that you're making it interesting, believe me, their attention will be on you at all times. What is in it for us in this activity, which is language and cognitive? Language, what it is, your child will be practicing their muscles in their mouth and their tongue because they're repeating numbers to you when they're talking and they're singing. So they're working all the muscles they have in their mouth. What we have is cognitive. At this age, your child is beginning to understand numbers. And then specifically the number 2 is very important because why? We have 2 hands, 2 arms, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 feet, 2 legs. So it's very important at this time. And this is what we're focusing on with this activity, which is language and cognitive. That's what it's in it for us. And remember, when you touch an object as you count, it helps your child to understand the concept of quantity. So hopefully you guys have fun when you do this activity. This is the activity page. And of course, if you have any questions, you can ask your home visitor. We're going to go ahead and move over to our development center parenting, which we have is Parenting makes a difference. This is the handout that you will have. You may not be able to see it clearly, but let me get a little bit closer. Yeah, this is the handout that we're focusing on right now. Here, what we have, the important main topics that we have is nurturing. When you nurture your child through parenting, you're showing them affect. When you show them affection, when you meet their needs, when you celebrate their accomplishments, your child is gaining that he learns that he is loved by you and by your dad, by daddy and by siblings. He will try new things, believes that he can handle tough situations. And then also we have designing and guiding. When you as a mom and dad design and guide for your child, which is example is when you set limits, your child is learning how to respect people and things. Remember, mom and dad, we are the prime example of what our children are going to be. Nobody's perfect, of course not, and no child is perfect, and that's okay. But remember, us as parents, the way we parenting our parenting skills is what makes our child even much better. When you set family routines, you're giving him the knowledge to gain comfort in knowing what to expect next. And now we have responding. Responding is when you respond constantly to your child's cues, when you share attention and show interest, when you think about your child's temperament, your child is gaining trust as his needs are met. He is learning that he is valued and that he's understood. He gains confidence. Of course, we want all our children to be confident in what they do. And then we also have communicating. When you communicate with your child, taking turns talking with him, when you read books, prime example, when you tell stories and when you sing, when you label and pinpoint things for him, your child is learning patterns of conversation. He's also to learning words to share his ideas. He's learning how to, have a conversation. The conversation could be with you or with his siblings or when he goes to school. Because remember, these little ones are going to school next year. They'll be going to the Head Start classroom. Also, when you support learning, in which you do every week, since you're doing it activities, you're always supporting their learning. When you help your child build skills, when you provide new words and materials, when you motivate your child and wonder with your child is learning to think to solve problems on his own. He's getting a better focus on the task. He's exploring new things and ideas. He starts learning to organize his ideas. And lastly, mommy, what you can do and here is reflection. Just time to think to yourself as mom and dad, what do you do to show love to your little ones? Another one could be how do you design your home and your routines for your little ones? Remember, if we are always screaming or we're always upset, our little ones are going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be upset, they're going to be screaming. But on the other hand, if we praise them, if we give them boundaries, if we set limits for them, they will be doing the same thing. They will be able to understand different concepts. Remember, like I always say, you guys are the child's first teacher. And then we have in family well-being. Last week we talked about how us as a home visitor, we're also a family development worker and we provide resources. And at the end of the day, the only person that decides if they continue with the resource, if they reach out, if they want to accept the resource is you as a parent. And also, like I explained last time, if you have any questions or concerns or need another type of resource, or you have a resource that we can have and give it to our another family, we're more than happy to help you, more than happy to accept any resource that you may have for us. Here we have, which is our parent handout, what's on your mind. And IFPA time is getting closer for our returners. You guys are familiar with IFPA is, which it is setting a goal for ourselves throughout the year. And for our new families, your home visitor will go over with you. But this is a great time for you to start thinking, what goals do you have? What hopes? What is your desire? What questions do you have? What concerns do you have to complete that? And on your handout, you'll see that it has a lot of little bubbles with many, many questions. We have my dreams for the future, I'm facing, I wish, I should change. Remember, goals are like stepping stones. They can help you focus and improve your outlook, which will move your family toward a positive direction. On this little paper here, you can write your goal here. For example, If you want to take a vacation because you were not able to take a vacation this time, but you need the funds, you can always draw a little money sign. You're saving money, or you're saving money for that cute purse you saw when you went to the store, or for those nice tennis shoes that you saw. That's a goal, mom. And there's no big or small goal. Or if you're trying, set a goal for dad. Dad is setting a goal for himself to read to his children every night. Or as you, mom, your goal is to read a book to your children every night. That's a goal. You can go ahead and draw a little book, or you're reading a book to your family. And then another goal could be trying to get fit. Try to, you can put a little park, or try to, your goal could be getting outside more. I know right now things could be difficult. It can be hard during this COVID time, but it's a perfect timing right now for you to start thinking of what goal you can set for yourself, what desire you have, or any questions. Remember, your home visitor FEW is always here for you when it comes to trying to set your goal, or even the least goal you can think of. A goal could be trying to maneuver YouTube. We're all learning right now. And then lastly, I want to remind you guys, remember, your home visitor will contact you weekly. And remember, we have a 30 minutes virtual visit, and we have that phone call. And please, please, if you can't do it at the time that you sit with your home visitor, please let them know. We do have families already in a set schedule. We know things happen, but it's important for you to always keep that conscious communication. Also, remember, we send home an in-kind paper. That's the time that you spend with your child. You can spend 5 minutes in the morning while you're eating breakfast, you're counting your Cheerios. That could be 5 minutes during the day. You count your steps as when you go to your bedroom. That could be another five. You read a book. But remember, mommy, we always want to add that timing. So let's say 30 minutes. So you sign, you put your time in, you put your time out. Lastly, the last box, you leave it for us. And I am happy you guys came back and saw this video. This is our third week. Remember, one more reminder. Uh, the last week of September, you will be picking up your packets for the month of October. And then once again, my name is Miss Cindy Renteria. If you need any help or questions, feel free to ask. Bye, guys.